From the Library of Congress and the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture.
Today is June the 30th, 2016, and we are in Santa Rosa, California. And this is David Klein from the History Department at Virginia Tech, and also working with UNC, that is the Southern Oral History Program from the University of North Carolina, on the Civil Rights History Project, which is a project of the Library of Congress and the Smithsonian's National Museum of African American History and Culture. Behind the camera today we have John Bishop of Media Generation and UCLA. We're also joined today in the room by Guha Shankar of the Library of Congress. And we have a distinct pleasure of interviewing Big Man, who's a veteran of the Black Panther Party. And I'll ask you if you could introduce yourself, and only time I'll coach you, a complete sentence, I am, or my name is, and your name, and where you were born and when.
Okay. Ready? Okay, my name is Elbert Big Man Howard, and I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee, a native of Chattanooga, Tennessee, but a long-time resident of California, Northern California specifically. And I wound up in Northern California after military service, spending 4 years in the Air Force, and they decided to discharge me, or I decided I wanted to be discharged in California because I loved it here. I loved the people, and being a young man, I'm trying to find my way, and so I ventured into Oakland and started my, I guess, formal education, or what I wanted out of education, in Oakland at Merritt College. And
Can I ask you first just a little bit about your childhood? So you were born in Tennessee in what year?
1938.
And can you tell us a little bit about your family there and growing up in the South?
Yeah, well, growing up, I don't know if it was typical or not, but my father died. I never knew him. All I knew was my mother and aunts and cousins, and I think that I was pretty much raised up as an adolescent by women, the aunts, my mother's sisters. And then my cousins were, I guess you could say, my brothers and sisters, really. And I attended school and in high school and that sort of thing.
And all the schools were segregated schools at that time?
Right. Yeah. And I think long about 1954, they began to talk about integrating schools. And, I heard about that. And, I told myself I have no problem with going to school with white kids because I have my own set of friends and living in my own set of society. So I'm not up for that, but if it happens, it happens. But I had teachers who I thought were concerned about me, who tried to teach me things that I needed to know to survive in a hostile world. So, I had no problem about wanting to integrate anything like that. And I went through to the 11th grade. And my mother being a single parent and everything, I got to growing up and becoming an adult. I figured one of the best ways for me to help support her and to develop myself was to join the military, the Air Force, after conversing with a lot of my friends who'd been through basic training and all of that and come back, and I picked their brains as to what it was all about. And that's why I made my